Renovating a 5-inch gauge Sweet Pea steam locomotive, Part 1. The job starts on the 1st of January 2026. This is a very well made Sweet Pea built in 1987. It has some wear issues and some parts are not working as they should. This episode is the introduction to the series, showing the work required to bring it back to excellent condition, fitting new parts where necessary. A while ago I asked Philip Owen of Blackgates Engineering if he knew of any Sweet Pea locomotives for sale. Phil is a member of the Wakefield Club and he asked around at the club, and one of the members said that yes, he had one that he would sell. These are some photographs that the owner of the engine sent to me, and it's looking very forlorn. Looking through all the dirt and filth and grime, I think it's going to be okay. The first thing that struck me is the locomotive is very well made, with some detailing that you don't always find. When I contacted the seller, he said that it had an expired boiler certificate, but when I bought it, it also had a full boiler history, plenty of certificates and bits and pieces. And the good thing was it was located not too far away from where I live, so I didn't need to have a massive driving day to get to it and back. The first thing to do is to give the engine a bit of a clean, using a toothbrush and various bits of kitchen towel. I prefer to use kitchen towel these days rather than cloths because cloths just spread the oil and filth, whereas these can be thrown away. In no time at all, I did notice that the locomotive was cleaning up quite well. The colour of it puzzles me. It's a variation of the LMS Crimson Lake colour. It's a bit too pinky for my liking. It's slightly damaged, so we'll have to touch in the paint. But first I need to mix a colour which is identical to this. The Crimson Lake paint that I have from HMG Paints is not this colour. I enjoy mixing paint colours, so it shouldn't be a problem. Here's part of the cleaning sequence running at double speed. With plenty of WD-40 and much scrubbing with my toothbrush, it's starting to look okay. The owner's dog was a very hairy creature, and quite a lot of its hair is actually mixed in with the dirt and grime I'm removing. After freeing the stuck check valve ball, I connected an airline to the engine and ran it with the drain cocks open, and this is what came out of the cylinder, a very oily and slightly rusty mess, which I wiped up immediately. In front of the drain cock assembly is a crash bar, a very useful addition. This prevents damage to the drain cock assembly if the locomotive leaves the rails. In this clip, I've just straightened its position. At first, when I connected up the air, it didn't run and I thought, oh dear, this is going to be a problem, is it? But then I realised I'd left the handbrake on. Once I released the handbrake, this is what it did. I'll stop talking and let you have a listen. The slight click you can hear stopped once I put my screwdriver against this part. As an overview, the engine does need rebushing in certain areas, but it's not as bad as I thought it was going to be. It is nothing like the one I worked on for James Evans. That was a real mess. In the end, he bought it off me for what I paid for it, and it's currently in the hands of someone who's repairing it for him. The cab support assembly is held to the roof with some nuts and bolts. Some of these were sharp, so I removed them with a drum sander in my Proxxon motor tool. I will be removing the support frame to paint it properly because most of the paint is missing from it. I'm not going to go over the top with the paintwork. I want this engine to look its age. I don't want it to look brand new. I could take it down to a local company and get the paint removed and the whole thing professionally repainted. It has been repainted at some time in the past. This paint is too good to be from 1987. The engine was built by a man called Norman Sheard because it has a maker's plate, and here's an example of his workmanship. The way the brass angle has been segmented and riveted to the spectacle plate is a really good job. I manually rotated the handle on the mechanical lubricator to pump plenty of oil into the engine. And when I run the engine with the drain cocks open, this is what comes out. It's looking cleaner and cleaner all the time. Not much rust at all considering the amount of time the engine has spent just sat on a shelf. After a while, thanks to the WD-40, the toothbrush and the kitchen roll that I used, it's starting to look a bit cleaner. This is a model of a contractor's type of locomotive. It's a narrow gauge engine, that's why it's so big, and I do not want it to look new. Here's a WD-40 that I've been using. And in this part of the video, I think this was the second or third time doing the same job over and over. It got better every time. Originally, all the check valves and the whistle valve were stuck, but an application of WD-40 to the check valves and the whistle valve fixed the problem. The injector water valve is stuck fast. I think I'm going to change this. But not in this episode. This is just the introduction that I'm editing on New Year's Day 2026. I'd like to wish a happy, healthy and prosperous new year to all my Patreon supporters. I don't know who Joseph Fowler was. The boiler is in very good condition. I had a look inside the smoke box and the firebox, and there's no evidence of water staining anywhere. What I'm doing here is adding some water to the saddle tank just to make sure that it doesn't leak. I may modify the injector arrangement so that the injector picks up water either from this tank, which of course gets warm after a period, therefore the injector won't work. I prefer to feed the injector with water from an external tank that isn't sat above the boiler, therefore it doesn't get warm. It's a good idea to leave the saddle tank full of water, which gives you more tractive effort because it adds weight to the engine. Underneath the saddle tank, bolted to the rear left-hand side of the engine's frames, is this proper Sweet Pea hand pump. And, pardon the expression, the balls aren't working. I'm using a blowtorch to warm up the fittings to see if it dislodges the balls from the seats. This turned out not to be the problem. The pump itself needs some attention. It doesn't look very good to start with. I'm going to do something about this fairly quickly because I want the hand pump to be much better than it is. I'm also very tempted to fit 2 injectors instead of just the one. More about this in a future episode. That's it for now. Once again, happy 2026. Stay safe, stay healthy. Thanks for watching, and I hope you found it useful. Please take the time to visit my Mainsteam Models website and click on the section of the website that says Video Playlists. And by doing that, you can find other videos that you may like to watch. And by using the playlists, you can actually watch the videos back to back.